Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, I came across a video where a white man was talking about how Black community could change this world, but have every right to sit back and watch. The reality is that everybody or all of them are used to free kindness, the kindness that they will take it for granted and thank you, tell you thank you for your services, and then move forward and probably come back in the next 4 years or 5 years to tell you that yes, you all were really very useful or very important, and then come back again in the next 8 years. Enough is enough. I said what I said. Now, they have been calling Black people out to save democracy. The reality is that our Black people started screaming since last year or last 2 years that they would not save any democracy this 2025, that whatever happens, happens. They thought it was a joke, but now it is happening. And something I want to tell you is that these people thought that Black people was going to come out again if anything happens. So as it stands, they are still in shock, like what is going on. They have been the ones to pioneer anything going around, the protests and the rest of it. So as it stands, they are handicapped. That's why you see all of them coming out to say, can you help, can you, let's come back let's come back in unity and all that. I ain't no unity anymore. Let's get into this video.
There's a group of people out here that can literally change the world, but they have every right to not to want to. And that is the Black community. Because they do have more power than the white people. If they were to find their power and took leadership, they'll make some positive changes. But because our world is so racist and so masculine, and there's no femininity in that area as well, that's why we are living the bullshit life we were living. And they have every right to watch the show and not do a thing, because they told us, we ignored them, and now the whites are really the ones that are fucking around and finding out, because they told us many years about everything that we're living in, and they have every right to watch the show and watch us struggle. They don't need to do anything, because they tried. But because people are so ignorant, racist, and think they're better. So here we are. There's a group of people out here that can literally change the world, but they have every right to not to want to.
Do you really want change, Mr. Dedication? Or are you looking for rescuing? And I know you're probably sitting there looking at me like, how is that any difference? If you rescue us from the state of what the country is in right now, you have the ability to change the trajectory of the future. And that's not exactly how it works, okay? With rescuing, let's just say 92% of Black women, we grab our 86% of Black men, and we throw in a few YNs for the hell of it, right? Get real spicy. And we come in and we begin to rescue the country. That just means that your people are looking for the new coordinated B613 people. That group that has the discipline, the perseverance, the resilience, and the sacrifice to do whatever means necessary, even if it means putting ourselves on the line to remove the cancer from the system right now. And when we tame that fucking country that we in right now and we calm it down and the heights is over because we have removed the tumor, your people will come in and hit us with the thank you for your services, but we'll take it from here. And that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for you to resume back to activities or normal practicing. No, because your version of democracy is not our version of democracy. Now, if you're going to hit me and say, no, I don't want us to resume back to normal, I want real change. Let me explain to you what change actually looks like. Change actually looks like the population for your people being quickly minimized in comparison to the population of my community that will vastly grow very quickly because the maternal mortality rate would decrease. That means but sickle cell patients won't be unalived in these hospitals. And that would be because the oath of the medical health system would be having a morale for all human life. It would not be teaching the physicians in your communities that black people are these metahumans that don't experience pain or have the same skin as any average human being. That would mean that all black people, the mothers, the unborn children, the newborn children, the sick people would receive adequate, quality, proactive, and reactive medical care. That means that the police brutality would stop amongst the men that are dropping like flies in my community. That would also mean that the exoneration numbers in the criminal justice system would begin to smaller. They would begin to damn near go away as well, because black men wouldn't consistently fit the profile, and they wouldn't be given these excruciating, outlandish sentences for minor crimes, such as some flour dust in their pockets. They would be home and be able to get married and start children and families of their own. That means that the bottom line and the core of education system would be that all children deserve adequate education, and that the funding for schools in my communities would actually get it so that we can get proper materials to keep up with your famous privates and charter schools. That the school to prison pipeline system would all of a sudden be eradicated because black boys and girls wouldn't be given such harsher punishments by leadership in these schools that are your people of your community, and they would not be getting such things as suspension so quickly, which would lead to incarcerations, because it would also mean that more black people will be incentivized to become educators and be given opportunities to become principals and do what is necessary for the kids in these communities. It would also mean that not only would we make up the majority in our own higher learning education institutions like HBCUs, but we would make up possibly more than 5% in your historical higher learning education institutions such as PWIs, because all of these black kids are doing what's necessary to get in, but they're not being told after a while that you only have a quota that you need to meet. It would also mean that the funding in my people's communities would be better, and that your people in your community would not be so quick to come over and have even the ability to gentrify it. Because when your real estate groups come out here and they flash very underwhelming numbers to the people in the communities, the very few people that have some level of properties in these communities and ownerships, my people wouldn't be so quick to take it, trying to have some generational wealth for themselves and their families. And then that also means that the people in these communities won't be pushed out, because your community loves to come in and try to take ownership of a very beautiful, cultured atmosphere all of a sudden. Yet you will be policing these communities and or raising the prices, which makes it impossible for us to even maintain our living in these communities and or be arrested because you just don't feel comfortable around us yet. It would also mean that biased lending would stop in this country, and that black people wouldn't be seeing damn near 30% denial rate from any type of loan, versus a 12% denial rate in your community, and they would be able to get homes for themselves. They would also be able to get businesses for themselves based off of their culture. They wouldn't have to be forced to just be busboys and waiters and waitresses in facilities or institutions such as like cuisine, which is based off of their heritage. They would be owners of it. It would also mean that the entertainment industry would actually give just and right due, not only with accolades, but ownership to the people with the actual talent and the creativity of most of what's going on. And that would mean that damn near the whole music industry would be run by the same people whose music it actually belongs to, because all American music is black music, or was once seen as colored music. That would mean that your people in your community would be able to be comfortable with setting their ego aside and being able to admit that from the infrastructure to the very culture that you use as commodities and you export around the globe does not belong to you, and that they would be able to give credit to the very founding fathers of this damn country and all that it has created and brung. And if that is what change means, and you can accept that change in your community, well then by God, we are willing to do the change. We can do the work. But something tells me that's not what you're looking for. And listen, you could tell me yay or nay. It makes me know never mind. And I apologize that I don't really have trust for the people in your community. But I just don't believe that if your community, so say, wants this supposed change, that they would sit on the internet instead of using the power that they actually have right now to make space and way for my people to get the job done. We wouldn't be getting these sympathetic videos that is filled to me with some level of manipulative tactics of giving us accolades and praise to convince us to get up off our asses and do some shit for you. What it would look like is people in your community that understand too well that with change in this country, there is no peace. They would be the ones on the front line, blocking us and protecting my community and allowing us to organize and dictate on how this actually needs to operate and keeping us safe, because you know that you have the complexion for the protection and you will not be harmed when you stepped out there. You would be on the front lines convincing your people to infiltrate the system from the inside and allowing us to get space to do what is necessary, when this country would then truly be run off of merit. That is what a people that want change would do. That is what a people that know what change is would do. They would fight for it. Not try to convince my people right now with sorrows and prayers that they just understand and we'll just be forced to all sit here and burn. So then again, I ask you, Mr. Dedication, do you want change or do you want to be rescued?
So now you want black people's help. So now you think that black folks should stop what they're doing, i.e. protecting themselves, knowing that this president was going to do the things he did. Imagine that. Imagine being anti-black for months and now acting as if black people owe you to do a single thing you asked them for. Solidarity is not born of emotional extortion. It is born of individuals recognizing nuance and working together collectively, not being forced into a position, not being demanded to use their voice and body for your cause. So now that you, and I'm talking about accelerationist, yes, you cause colonizer, now that you have gotten what you wanted, what do you want from us? What thing is it that you think you can ask us for after your despicable display of anti-blackness? What do you want? Kamala Harris didn't win. Stop talking about her. Doesn't matter. You got what you asked for. There is no solidarity to be had with a person that would rather destroy civil rights legislation fought for in this country through blood, sweat, tears, and lives by black people and allies. Like literally, you all have lost the plot. And if your cause is built on being anti-black, I want no part of it. Some of you lack nuance. You fail to recognize that black people in this country have been undergoing a genocide for almost 400 years. You fail to realize the additional black genocides going on across the world. And so before you come to try to tell me anything about how the silence of black people in this moment is deafening, I'd invite you to realize that when we used our voice and asked for your help, you were conveniently ignorant. So, good luck to you. May the odds be ever in your favor. Happy Black History Month.
That could literally change the world, but they have every right to.
Hi, everybody. Okay. So there's so much to say, and I got 10 minutes. I'm not going to use them, hopefully. I have attempted to talk about this album so many times, but I always and never seem to do it in a way that I feel good about. So I'm going to start there. First of all, if you have not, please take a moment, go listen to LLTR. It's a little over 2 minutes. It's brilliant. Listen to it, vibe with it. And the Project of Liberation is available now. It is one of the best done albums I've ever heard. Listening to all 16 songs is really easy to do. You can start from 1 and go all the way to 16. It's experimental enough that it's easy to be drawn in by the innovation. It is traditional enough that it is easy to connect with, and it is made by a young person that has seen the world from the eyes of a young and growing individual. What does this have to do with the original video? Would probably be the question. So, the Project of Liberation is about thriving, learning, growing through a time of fill in the blank. And it's been 76 years, and the response of the people have been, this is unacceptable. So I'm going to encourage everybody, go listen. It's not that anybody is sitting out and watching this. It's that there's more to it than it's gotten convoluted and disgusting. What I want and what I need has been turned into privileges and jobs, obligations, and the people who are able to have what they want now have to work for some of the most basic of things. Listen. One of the most beautiful, one of the most amazing, one of the most moving experiences I've had in a long time has been being able to connect with this. I would love for somebody to be able to come back and tell me why, and why these videos seem to connect to me. I would love to have conversations about that.
This is all I got from this video. Now let me tell Black people this. The truth is that everybody knows how powerful you are, but they also do not want you around. They just want you to come and do the job, and then they will take the glory, because this is not the first time, the second time, or the third time. And also, this is not the first time, the second time that the Black women, Black people saved democracy, right? So they thought it's all those years that when something happens and Black people might sit back and eventually come out to still save democracy, because they are kind people, right? But last year taught them lesson. Why? Because they thought they were fighting for everybody. Not that they were fighting for everybody. Okay, they thought everybody were with them, but they knew there were going to be clauses along the line, which they were also ready. They were heartbroken, but they knew what was going to come, right? So all this, everybody coming back and forth saying that Black people could change this world or could change what it's going on, but have every right to sit back and watch. Yes, let them sit back and watch, because this is a good time for them to sit back and watch and see how far you people can make it, right? The reality is that it is not Black people. It is you people. And all these years, it has also been you people. Because the election really showed me how loving and how ready Black people were to help everybody and to make sure that everybody got a safe spot. But you all said, no, it is time for us to also save ourselves, because It is always all about you people. Black people are never, ever in your dictionary. And every other person, not just only you people, all of you that voted against your own interest. But today, you all are running around screaming black people this, black people that. So you all knew how important and how kind and how good black people were or are, but still refuse to do the right thing. It is because black people have been far too kind to them, and they feel like no matter how bad it goes, black people will still come back and help us out. That's why they've been marching, but they feel like something is missing. What is missing? Black people are not coming out to do what they know how to do best, to make noise. Because for you people, it is making noise. But you know what? Black people are no longer making that noise. Black people aren't coming out. Now, like I said in one of my videos, that you see how this protest has been, it hasn't really been like, crazy or something. Or it definitely will be. It hasn't been anything way bad. But immediately black people choose to come out and help out. You start hearing stories. Why? Because you are the target majority of the time. They know how powerful you are. And they will be in their houses, especially those ones at the top, screaming, "We thank the Lord that these people choose to sit back. They haven't even come out. Oh my goodness, for real?" Because they knew that if you come out, there will be changes. But it is no longer, "I will save you, I will save you, I will save you." We can't keep saving everybody. We need to save our first. So our black people need to save themselves first before saving any other person. So at this point in time, they are taking care of themselves. They are saving themselves. Every other person should go and save themselves. I think that is the best. Maybe in the end, there could be conversation. And when I say conversation, a very serious conversation and a straightforward conversation, a heart-to-heart talk, if you all are going to be truthful. But if you all choose not to be truthful, you all will continue to experience something like this too. Because it is not over. This is just the beginning. And you all did not know it. I see a lot of them crying around farms because they are affected. They are not coming out to tell you that it's only black people who could change the world. They are crying out. They are crying out is because they know that they are affected. If they were not affected, let's assume it was black people that this is affecting. You would not see anybody come out to say, "Help me, help me, help me." Right? Because they do not care about you. But black people can do it. Black people can do it because it is affecting them. And a very big shout out to the first sister, Alexis. Thank you so much. You said it all. When I said you said it all, you said it all. Because black people have been doing it. It's not like they have. At some point, it became a pattern that some people will come out and make things right. And probably why they come out to make things right. Their kids and their nephew and their nieces might be going through it. When I say going through it, you should know what I am saying. Brutality and the rest of them. So stay back in your house. I know black people are super amazing people, powerful and all that. But you see this time, it is a great time to rest. It is a great time to reflect. To tell you that all these years, these people know what they've been doing. It's not like they don't know. They know. They know that they've been taken advantage of. Not really taking advantage. It is because you people care about everybody. But they knew that they can ride. They just want to ride on your kindness. Because you all know black women, most especially, they do not ever want to see anybody suffering because they will come out and save the day as usual. But this time around, we are overlooking everything and focus on yourself, focus on the next business, focus on those children, focus on your grandchildren, go for a walk, have barbecue, relax. treat yourself to something good. For the men, treat yourself to something good too. Let them experience a little bit of what they've been dishing out. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.